This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and you are listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let the record show. Sean Ross Sapp let us cut. Got to shout him out. He's putting us over.
They've been waiting so long.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Please, good guy over here putting us over. Yeah. Oh, okay. Please welcome to the show. I'm going to say one of the greatest independent wrestlers I've ever seen up in the Northeast. On record, I will say that.
Oh, thank you.
Former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion.
Yes.
We are not worthy.
The Poison Pixie.
Oh, thank you.
Tough cupcake. That's my favorite.
I could hear the cheers. You guys did such a build that I was like, oh man.
You deserve it,
Am
though.
I cool?
Yes, you are.
The hair speaks for itself.
Yes, I love it. Candice, I got to ask you this. First of all, I should add to the list Supermom as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Super Baker, Supermom. Candice, I got to ask you, even the kids coming up to you, talking to you right now, what's it like being here at Boys and Girls Club? It's amazing.
I don't know if you guys have been in that room, but it's so cool. And I love that some of the kids here got to actually help and put input and physical efforts, and that's something that I would have loved to have done as a kid.
Right, yeah, that sounds really cool.
I think it's neat, and it's such a cool room.
Yeah.
As a kid, I would have loved that. As an adult, love it.
Thank you for doing this, Candice.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to throw it over to the guy who may love your husband just as much as you do.
Stop.
I'm embarrassed.
Wow.
So we are huge on NXT Black and Gold.
Yep.
2019 was such a huge year for you.
Yeah.
You were there through all of it. What are some of your favorite moments through NXT?
Well, I'd have to say top favorite moment was winning the NXT Women's Tag Titles with Indy.
Amazing.
Shout out to Indy.
And I will say I'll give a little tidbit that I went backstage after, and Hunter said some really nice things to me, but I'll never remember what he said because it was all a blur. It all happened
Really?
so fast. It probably was good job, kid, but I have no idea.
Yeah,
It was wild.
the match with you and Io at TakeOver Toronto.
Thank you.
And
favorite match ever.
Really? Okay.
My favorite match.
Really? And you and Rhea at War Games being the last two left was so cool to see.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the house show in Tom's River, the Shayna Baszler, 3 suicide dives.
Yeah, so it was
amazing.
I think I told you this at a convention. It was the first time I ever seen you wrestle. I was like, oh, cool, I got to see Candice wrestle, and you did 3 topes, and I really thought you were going to win the NXT Women's title.
Oh, wow,
yeah,
thank
we
you.
were going crazy in the
Thank
crowd,
you.
so it was really fun.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Last one from me, Candice, because I want to let Sean go. He let us cut. Sean and Denise up on deck. Shout them out. I got to ask you this. We're big proponents of the talents up in the Northeast, the indie talent. I mean, on record, I will say you're one of the best independent talents I've seen in the Northeast.
Thank
what
you.
advice would you have?
Just keep at it. Be a good person and keep at it. Your positivity, it'll come back to you. Karma's a real thing, so if you're putting good out, good will come back. And just don't give up, because I thought I'd never be here. Even the day I started training, I was like, I'm probably never going to make it, but I'm still going to do this, and here we are.
Future women's champion,
Yes.
Candice LeRae.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to welcome in our new sponsor for the year of 2024, Bree Combination Wrestling, BCW, ahead of their event at the Mecca in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Welcome to 2024, the new year, featuring Christina Marie, Brittany Blake, Vicious Vicky, Face, Jay Bougie, Anthony Gangone, Darius Carter, and a whole lot more Saturday, January 20th at the Mecca. Before we get started, I want to shout out our sponsors here on the BCP. As always, the BCP is brought to you by our favorite store, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located online and at the Englishtown Flea Market in Englishtown, New Jersey, on Saturdays and Sundays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Blue Building. Get your wrestling stuff, retro video games, G.I. Joes, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters. It's our favorite store. Thank you, Heather and Dan, for sponsoring the show. Please welcome in our new sponsor, Mania Club. Established in 2015, Mania Club is a WWE-recognized community for fans with an eclectic love for both the world of professional wrestling and raising money for Connor's Cure. During WrestleMania weekend, we host the official tailgate of WrestleMania while also celebrating the life of Connor McCauley. They're the single largest donor within the V Foundation for Connor's Cure, with over $150,000 raised. Please donate and join the Facebook group over at Mania Club. Donate at jimmyv.org/Mania Club. The BCP is also sponsored by the No Gimmicks Podcast, the pro wrestling podcast that keeps it 100% real 100% of the time. The No Gimmicks Podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. Shout out Calvin. Check out the No Gimmicks podcast. Wrestling All Day, All Night is the best wrestling discussion group on Facebook. We provide more of a community feel here and have wrestling fans introduce other fans to something they may have not seen before, such as old school wrestling, indie wrestling, Japanese wrestling, and more. We also strive to be a source for information regarding upcoming wrestling meet and greets and signings. And remember, we're open 24/7, all day, all night. Be sure to follow on socials and join the group on Facebook at Wrestling All Day, All Night. BCP is also sponsored by Warriors of Wrestling. Warriors of Wrestling returns to Brooklyn, New York on Saturday, January 6th, featuring former WWE superstars Mace and Mansoor, also featuring Darius Carter, Joe Acasio, Angel Metro, Vicious Vicky, TJ Marconi, and a whole lot more. Get your tickets now at warriorsofwrestling.com, and don't forget to subscribe for some great matches over on the Warriors of Wrestling YouTube channel. Please welcome in our new sponsors, the Sweet Chin Musings podcast. Sweet Chin Musings is the creation of the reigning, rarely defending, highly disputed champion of wrestling podcast, Mr. Perfect Mike Mueller, and his tag team partner in crime, Luke Kudialis. SCM focuses on the in-ring products of WWE and AEW. No dirt sheet rumors here, as well as backstage news, predictions, and analysis of characters, storylines, and major pay-per-views. Old school fans, don't worry, we have you covered too with a look back on classic matches, top 10 lists, and interactive tournaments that let the fans decide who is truly the best of all time. You can find us on Facebook at Sweet Chin Musings, and be sure to check out the podcast on all your favorite podcast major streaming platforms. We also got to shout out our new sponsors, United States Department of Nerds, the USDN Podcast, a podcast presented by Dat Feeling Podcast Network, LLC. The USDN Podcast is run by Jeffrey T. Fountain, a BCP Plus contributor, Jennifer Johnson, Eric Johnson, and Tay Stith, and is also home to the Queens of Nerdom podcast. USDN Podcast is a safe place for all nerds where they can come to be entertained, learn, and embrace debate. USDN prides itself on being by the people, for the people, and of the people. Here at the USDN, we strive to bring you the best content we can find where you know it comes with the USDN seal of approval. We always strive to give you factual data. If it's a rumor, we'll always preface it with the rumor alert before dropping the freshest info. However, once those rumors are proven true, you can bet your money we at USDN are slamming the stamp down and giving it the USDN seal of approval. Hit our links on social media for all our merch. This ad is USDN approved. BCP is now sponsored by the international shining star, Ray Calitri. Calitri has honed his craft traveling and wrestling all over the world, including destinations such as Mexico, Peru, Puerto Rico, and even Egypt. The ISPW Tri-State Champion and Golden Ticket holder is also one of the longest reigning ECPW Light Heavyweight Champions in history. Calitri also holds an international championship that he won in Mexico. Always known for his appreciation of world culture, the Shining Star is also known for his taste for high fashion, lavish lifestyle, and fast cars. However, he is most prominently known around the globe for his unparalleled in-ring acumen and skill set. Be sure to follow Ray Calitri across the board on social media at Calitri Ray on Twitter, at PAP1Fresh on Instagram, and Ray Calitri on Facebook. Guys, please welcome in our new pod sponsor for the show, GPW Productions. GPW provides your promotion or event with top-tier video and audio production, live streaming, and more. I can personally vouch for them in saying they're hands down the best production company I've ever worked with, as they continue to work with the likes of AEW, GCW, StarCast, MLW, not to mention the majority of the local independent promotions here in the tri-state area. They can even help you film a vignette or promo for your persona or gimmick. And guess what? GPW doesn't just work in wrestling. They cover MMA, boxing, basketball, or any other sporting event as well. Guys, on a personal note, as always, I'd like to thank Mike Sesko, Frank Leone, O'Neil Andrews, and the team for giving me multiple opportunities to work with them and some of the best talent in the world. Book GPW for a promotion or event today at contact@gpwproductions.com. Once again, the BCP is sponsored by Pro Wrestling Magic. Pro Wrestling Magic presents Kingdom Come 8, 99 Red Balloons on Saturday, December 23rd at the Mecca, Ridgefield Park here in New Jersey. Get your tickets now or watch live on IWTV. Kingdom Come 8 features Darius Carter, Steve Pena, Steve Off, Kerr, Alex Ryman, Danny Moff, The Notorious Mimi, The Ruthless Lala, Vicious Vicky, Adina Steele, The Rep, Death Row, and a whole lot more. Tune in on IWTV. Guys, I want to give a special shout out and thanks to our new December podcast sponsor, Key Nation, featuring our very own BCP and BCP Plus contributor, Mr. Wayne Keener. Make sure to follow Key Nation on TikTok and Instagram for great puns, memes, dad jokes, and random ridiculous content. Thank you, Wayne. Welcome in our new December sponsors for the BCP DDE Daddy Daughter Entertainment. Thank you, Chucky Diesel and Chloe Rain, for sponsoring the show. Daddy Daughter Entertainment is all about family and being a fan of professional wrestling. It's my favorite thing about this crazy business is seeing Chucky and Chloe at shows. And DDE right now are putting out some amazing content and special attraction matches. Thank you, DDE. Guys, last but not least, I want to shout out our new December sponsor, Chop City Wrestling. Chop City Wrestling is where our pal Ryan Steniford takes chops from wrestlers and donates $20 to Connor's Cure for every chop he takes. Follow his adventures on his YouTube channel for all those chops and some great pro wrestling content for a great cause. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you, Ryan, for sponsoring the BCP.
Yo, listen, it's Platinum Max, part of the Acclaim, the Platinum Playboy, best wrestler alive, and you are rocking with the Bob Culture Podcast. Yo, listen, Platinum on the mic, and I'm coming for your ass. I'm listening to the Bob Culture Podcast, and I think it's the hottest show in the game, because them and everybody loves the Acclaim. Now, scissor me.